Movie buffs, welcome back to the Movie Bay. This is D. In today's video, we are going to take a look at a lot of the cartoons that I really enjoyed coming up in my childhood. And some of these are going to be cartoons that's a little bit older. Well, I'm sorry, a little bit newer that came out throughout my lifetime. So these movies are ranging from like my childhood up into my early adult years. And these are just some of the, now these are all series. None of these are going to be animated movies. I could do a separate video for like animated movies because I am a big fan of animated movies, whether they be Disney, Pixar, DC, Marvel, the manga stuff. I am a huge fan of animated movies. I love animated movies because they can just do so much more with an animated movie than they can with a live action. So here's a bunch of TV series, cartoon animated series, starting from my childhood throughout my life. This isn't all. So I know a lot of you guys are going to be like, where's this? Where's that? Well, I can't get them all. Well, I can, but it'll take time. So I do have quite a bit. My collection of my animated series that I'm really fond of is growing. But let's dive in and let's go ahead and see what I got. So we're going to start this thing off with one that is near and dear to my heart. I'm going to take it out as 10 just to show you guys. I'm going to show you the 10. We got Voltron, Defender of the Universe. This is the Blue Lion set, obviously. This is season 1. This is the first season that came out. Now, I remember when these released, I'm going to say, maybe, I don't know, 20 years ago. And they released them in order. So the Blue Lion was the first one to come out. I jumped on this one. Then all the other Lions came out with different shows in each 10. I only got the Blue Lion because this is the only one that I really wanted, because this has the first pilot where they discovered Voltron. I was fascinated with that. I liked the whole series when I was a kid, but as an adult, I realized I only really liked that first season, to be honest with you. So here it is, 3-disc set with the little booklet. Nice, decent artwork. Princess who piloted the Blue Lion. I'm not sure why they released it in the order of the Blue Lion first instead of Black Lion, who was the main lion and the leader of the lions. Well, Keith was the leader of the Voltron Force who piloted the Black Lion. I'm not sure why that 10 didn't come first, but that's neither here nor there. This is Voltron, Defender of the Universe. It's not the complete set. They have different sets out now where of course they don't have these 10s no more, but you can still, if you're a collector and you want all the color 10s, you can get them on eBay. People got them on eBay, and they're not selling, they're not bending you over for them. And again, if you want Voltron complete, it's out there, trust me. They got different sets, so just pay attention to the set you get. Some sets got better quality than others. So that's Voltron. That's near and dear to my heart. The toy was near and dear to my heart. Voltron was just one of those toys that we as kids, we just loved Voltron. We really did. It was just something so different. I'm trying to think, was Voltron? I think Voltron was right before Transformers. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I think Voltron came out right before Transformers started blowing up, because I remember we had Voltron, we had GoBots, for those of you who remember GoBots, and then Transformers came and just changed the whole game. Like, far as robots went, Transformers just came and shut it all down. They shut down GoBots, they shut down Voltron, they shut it all down. But anyway, that's Voltron, Defender of the Universe, and that's the Blue Lion 10. Next is one. Now, this isn't exactly the He-Man Masters of the Universe version that I remember as a kid. This isn't the 80s one. This is a new rebooted version, and it's a fantastic rebooted version. This one came out in 2009, so this is an 09 set. But this was good. I don't know. I'm not sure where this aired. I don't think this aired on Cartoon Network, and I don't think it aired on Netflix. But anyway, this is He-Man Masters of the Universe. And what makes this set so good to me, this is the origins of He-Man and Skeletor, which was banging. I loved it. And then it's 10 additional episodes. Now, this, if they got more episodes of this out there, I will be very content with getting all of this particular run of He-Man, because this run was almost identical except for updated animation to the original one that I grew up with. He-Man looks almost the same. Battle Cat looks almost the same. Skeletor is pretty much the same. A lot of this is I liked this because it didn't stray far. It didn't stray from the source material hardly at all. Everybody looked the same. Teela, Man-at-Arms, Ram Man, everybody was pretty much the same in this. It was just a banger. The only updates really was the Sorceress was updated. Castle Grayskull was slightly updated. It was really good and very, very true to the source material. I loved it. Now, Netflix had a couple of He-Man series. They had, I think Kevin Spencer put out 2. The first one he put out I thought was really, really good. The second one, I'm not sure where he was going with that one, but that was good too. The Netflix, I know they put out 2. It might have even been 3. But I know they put out, the first one that they put out on Netflix, I enjoyed it, but not like this one. This was fantastic. Next is a show that came out, and again, this represents He-Man from my childhood, even though it's not. But it's so close to it, I let this one get a pass. Next up is one that came out, again, I was grown when this one came out, but it's still one that I liked. It came on HBO, and I really liked it because I liked the character Spawn. And I liked it because it came, like I said, it came on HBO late night, so it was definitely an adult cartoon. The language, the violence, everything about this was incredible. I can sit and watch this series straight through anytime, and that's Todd McFarlane's Spawn, the animated that ran on HBO. Fantastic cartoon. If you like this is better than the movie, but if you like the movie, you'll love this. It's fantastic. Keith David did a great job as the voice of Spawn. Fantastic movie. Cartoon. Great series. I wasn't really thirsting for more when it ended because the whole series had a great run and a good end. It summed it all up pretty good. So you got a little closure when you watched it and finished it. Fantastic. Todd McFarlane's Spawn, the animated collection. Here's one that a lot of people didn't give this a lot of love when it first came out. And because people who grew up with Thundercats wanted Thundercats. They wanted the original Thundercats just updated. They wanted them to give it this treatment. They wanted guys who wanted He-Man, a new He-Man, wanted this, and they got this, and they was happy with this. The fans didn't really want this. Now, again, this wasn't terrible. It was a different spin. It was actually decent, but it had the Thundercats name to it, and it just wasn't Thundercats. It only lasted one season because I think a lot of the fans, they just didn't take to it. It was too different. You got to give the fans what they want. We wanted Thundercats. If you want to remake Thundercats, remake it and just update the animation. You could tweak the stories a little bit. You could tweak it a little bit. We're saying tweak it a little bit. Again, I'm going to go back to this. They tweaked it just enough where you're like, oh, okay, cool. That makes sense. They kind of went off the cliff with this one. Again, it wasn't bad, but it only lasted one season for a reason. Next up is one that this came out later. I was an adult when this one came out, and I didn't pay attention to this one when it first came out, but I picked it up a couple years ago and watched it all the way through. And it's The Batman, the complete series. Fantastic cartoon. I slept on this one for years. I just slept on it. I just didn't know what to make of it. But when I finally sat down and watched it, I enjoyed it. That's a good series right there. I actually did a video on that when I first got it. And here, I'm sorry guys, a little hot down in the basement again. So you guys got to bear with me. I don't want to run the fan because the phone to pick up the fan noise, and just I'm being polite here. Here's one that represents a cartoon from my childhood. Again, this is updated for a modern time. And again, with just enough tweaks around what's going on in a modern time to make it believable and good, and it didn't piss off the fans. And the first one ran for 2 seasons. Then there's another. They actually rebooted the cartoon. So this is Justice League. Season 1 and 2. This is the new Justice League. This is complete. Fantastic. It did a good job of paying respect to the original Justice League cartoon with bringing it up to a modern time with just enough tweaks to keep Justice League animated fans happy. I enjoyed it. Seriously. And then they actually came, after that ran, they came out with this guy right here. The complete series of Justice League Unlimited. Now, I will say this. I enjoyed Justice League Unlimited, but they had a lot going on with this one. Now, again, Justice League Unlimited, they had all the superheroes. And it was like superhero overkill. Again, it was good. More is better in some ways, but I enjoyed it. But if I had to go back, I think I like the I'm not gonna say original because this isn't the original Justice League. That came out many moons ago when I was a kid. But I'm gonna say original, comparing it to this. This was fantastic. This was good. It just had a lot going on. But it did introduce a lot of characters that you probably never seen animated before in like on a series or on a movie or a cartoon movie. I'll put it away. You saw a lot of characters here that you probably never saw off the comic book pages. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it had going for it, Justice League Unlimited. Again, not bad. It's just it had a lot going on. And you could tell the writing was a lot different on that one. That happens with cartoon series a lot. They start off really, and then the writing, you could tell the writing and the animation start to cheap out near the end. We'll talk more about that later. Or I wouldn't say cheap out, it changes and it don't match the original style. I could think of a couple cartoons that started off like that. Remember X-Men, the animated series? It started off it started off, compare it. Look at the early first season or two, and then go and try to watch the last season. It's total. The art style is totally different. The voices are, and a lot of the characters is different, and the stories are just not as good. Some of those stories was really dark and entertaining, but it got a little weird near the end. But again, I digress. Here's one that is near and dear to my heart, and if you are a person of a certain age, this is a cartoon that's a standout in your heart, and it's Transformers Generation 1. Transformers Generation 1. Transformers, more than meets the eye. The original Transformers. There's many spins on the Transformers. There's many series. Armada, Energon, Beast Wars, which was phenomenal. Beast Machines, Rescue Bots, Prime. It's so many I can't name them all. A ton of live action movies. A really good animated movie. Transformers is one of the longest running franchises in America. One of. Not saying it's like, but it's a very long running franchise. I mean, you're talking a franchise that came out in like 82. I want to say 82 or 84, because I think the first movie came out in 80. I think Transformers the movie came out in either 84 or 86. I got to look at it, but we'll just say the Transformers probably started around 82 and it's still running to the day. So this might be, I know it's running longer than the Simpsons as far as the franchise go, but we know the Simpsons is something a little bit different, but it's a long running franchise, really. So again, Transformers Generation 1, here's all your episodes, and it's a pretty nice set. All these seasons. This is an official Rhino release. It is an official Rhino release, so you're going to get all the official goodies. Dolby 5.1. That's season 1. Season 1 got its own box because it wasn't a short season, but it was shorter than season 2, because when season 1 took off, they had to do, back then, cartoons, if they wanted to run every day, they had to have a minimum, I think, of 64 to 68 episodes in order to run like that. So they did, season 2 is in 2 boxes. You got season 2 part 1 and season 2 part 2. You got way more episodes. Check it out. All those episodes per. And then you got season 3 that ran. So you got season 3 part 1, season 3 part 1, season 3 part 2, and then season 4. Season 4 was only just a handful of episodes. That was the final season that wrapped up the show. It was called The Rebirth. It was like a mini series. It was called The Rebirth, and it basically showed the end of the war, basically the official war, the end of the war between the Autobots and the Decepticons in that particular timeline. Again, you thought Transformers the movie, The Great War, was the end of the war, but the war raged on till The Rebirth, when Cybertron went back to the golden age of Transformers. Really good. Next, again, Transformers is probably one of the greatest cartoons, in my book, one of the greatest cartoons to ever come out, period. Next, here's one that came out. It didn't come out stateside till the 90s, but this came out in the 80s in its home market. And its home market is called Samurai Troopers. In the United States, is known as the Ronin Warriors. Fantastic cartoon. Again, I didn't catch this cartoon until I was pretty much a young adult, but I enjoyed it and I watched it and I liked it. This is one that I really watched and I followed it. I didn't, by the time I got into my young, early adult years, I was busy working and doing other things. I didn't really have time for this stuff a lot, but there was some cartoons that grabbed me and I would really watch them or tape them. Remember VHSs? You would tape them and come back and watch them whenever you got around to watching them. So that was the Ronin Warriors. I really enjoyed the Ronin Warriors. Here's another one that's new, a newer cartoon. It's not near and dear to my heart. It's just a good cartoon. And I added it into my collection because I found it at a good price. But it's still a good cartoon. And this is Avatar. And I liked it because it's all the seasons are broken down by book. Book of Fire, the Book of Earth, and the Book of Water. This is a fantastic show that aired on Nickelodeon. It's fantastic. I enjoyed Avatar. I did manage to complete the entire series. I liked it. No complaints. I was kind of bummed out when M. Night Shyamalan jacked up the live-action version of this. I was really bummed out when he did that. But, hey. Next, we got The Legend of Korra. I picked this up on the strength of having Avatar, and they both was at the store at the same time, so I just picked them both up. But this is a complete set. I did like The Legend of Korra. Not as much as Avatar, but it was pretty good. I did not finish this whole series. I think I watched about a half of it, and it was all right. I had no complaints. But again, I added it because it ties in with Avatar. Now we moving into stuff that I saw strictly as an adult, but kids ain't watching this one. A lot of families wasn't letting their kids watch this one. And I was hoping we would get a season 5. Aaron McGruder, I think he sold the rights to Sony. Excuse me, guys, a little. I think Aaron McGruder sold the rights to Sony for this. So we got the Boondocks. I love the Boondocks, and so do you. I love the Boondocks, and so do you. They got these little slim cases. I'm not going to show you all of them, but this is what they got, the little slim cases. I like those for the sets. And now you got all your episodes on the back. So that's season 1. My favorite, I like all the seasons. There's enjoyment in all of them, but I got to keep it 100. Season 2 is my favorite. Season 2 is just, this is a banger. If you don't get season 1, I would recommend get all of them and watch them all because it's just that good of a show. But if you was in the store and you was tight on funds and you wanted a Boondocks fix and you said, which season do I get? Get season 2. It's a banger. Season 3 is a banger. Season 3 I don't know. Season 2 got some shit on there, but season 3 got some stuff on here too. This is where they introduced Thugnificent. Thugnificent got introduced on this one. What's the other gay rapper boy? He got introduced on here. It was the Hateocracy, where they had a version of Red Fox on here. It was crazy. Like, it was good. Season 3, I don't know. Season 3 might be giving season 2 a run. And then we had the last season, which was pretty good too. Again, like I said, the Boondocks, you can't go wrong with any of the Boondocks. And I'm sorry, talking too fast. I highly recommend you get all 4 seasons. I was really hoping, a lot of people was really hoping for that season 5. It never came out. But that's all right. We good with the 4 seasons, the Boondocks. You can't go wrong with that. Here's another one. Now, again, this came out, I was an adult when I got wind of this. I'm not sure exactly when it came out, but by the time because it came on Cartoon Network, and I used to really enjoy Cartoon Network. The reason why I like Cartoon Network so much as an adult is because a lot of the good stuff that they had came on. I used to work in the fast food game back during that time. I used to I used to manage at places like, I would manage a Wendy's or a Taco Bell or, KFC, stuff like that back in the day. And, those places closed late at night, so I used to get home late, and so Toonami would be on, the whatever show on Cartoon Network that came on later had the more mature cartoons or some of the more violent cartoons. They would put those on later. And I would run into Dragon Ball Z on that. Now, Dragon Ball ran in a couple of different time slots on Cartoon Network. It wasn't, I don't think it ran on that slot because it was violent. Now, I know Boondocks for a fact ran on the later time slot because of its mature nature. Dragon Ball Z, I just used to catch this later when I would come in or on days off and stuff. So I would sit down and watch Dragon Ball Z. I really liked Dragon Ball Z. And I have the complete Dragon Ball Z saga. That's half of it right there. Here's the other half of it right there. What I like about it is it's a long running saga. As you can see, this is more than one saga though, but this is the, hold on, let's see here. You got the Cell saga. This is the Vegeta and the Goku when they merged with the earrings, the magic earrings. I think they was fighting Majin Buu in that one. This is seasons 1 and 2. This is seasons 3 and 4. I think it's 9 seasons. I got them all here. This is the end of the Frieza saga. So I really enjoyed Dragon Ball Z. It's so many different versions of Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball Kai, Dragon Ball this, that. I like Dragon Ball Z, and that's the only one that I really got into. And then that's that. So that's Dragon Ball Z. I really liked Dragon Ball Z. And out of all the Dragon Ball, I know there's plenty of Dragon Ball different spinoffs, like I said, but I got into Z and I liked it. There were some things, what I didn't like about Dragon Ball Z that a lot of people clown them for today, how long it takes for a fight to conclude. One fight can go for damn near a month. It's crazy. Just the fight part. We're not talking about the fluff to lead you up to the fight. The fight itself could take, like, I'm exaggerating, the fight could probably take 2 weeks to finish. I think they fought Cell for like 3 weeks. Shit was crazy. It was good though, but it was just, will you just get to it? All right. We getting down here. Now here's a series, couple of series. These 3 series here are near and dear to my heart. Warner Brothers did a fantastic job with this. It's near, when I tell you, and again, this is one that I was a very young adult when this came out, but an adult nonetheless, but I still watched it and I enjoyed the hell out of it. And that's Batman, the animated series. This is right up there as far as cartoons that I really love and hold dear. This is right up there with Transformers. It's not better. I'm not going to say it's higher than Transformers, but it's right up there with, it's in that same breath. Batman the Animated. This is the DVD set. They got plenty of nice Blu-ray sets of this out there, but this was a good price, and I liked it. And this you also get on this set, and again, I think on the Blu-ray set you'll get it too, but you also get the Mask of the Phantasm, the first Batman animated movie in this line, or only Batman. I think it was more than one. I think they did one with Mr. Freeze too, but again, fantastic movie. I really enjoyed that. Fantastic series. I'm sorry. This was a fantastic series. You had some up and down. This is one where you had some episodes that they had very serious tones, like the episode with the Toy Master. Oh man, that was like, yo, you sure this for kids? Fantastic, I'm telling you. You had some episodes on that was really like, there was almost like PSAs on some serious shit, like parents pay attention to what's going on. Really good. Next up, from the same people, we got Superman the Animated, which was really good. I enjoyed Superman the Animated series. I like Batman more than Superman. Now, when I was a little kid, it was the other way around. I liked Superman more, but Batman just became more popular over the years, and just Batman is very intriguing. But this was a good series. And then we got Batman Beyond. This came out of nowhere. Still waiting on the live action for this one. This was really good. It was I think it was well drawn, very well written, great voice acting. This is a good show. Batman Beyond. I was getting ready to say it didn't get the love, but it got the love. It most definitely got the love. It definitely got the love. For being a Batman spinoff, it definitely got the love. Batman Beyond. I'm still waiting to see them do this live action. Come on now, we need that. All right, got last stack here of some of my favorite animated series. Here's one that I know. Now, this is right next to Transformers in my heart. Transformers is on the right side of my heart. This is on the left side. G.I. Joe. The complete series of G.I. Joe. And it's in a little It's in a little thin. I like that. Got plenty. Well, look at that. 1, 2. Artwork is pretty solid. Bazooka. With that, you got. Let's do this right. Let's do this right. Let's see if I still remember. I think that's Major Blood, and that's Zartan, and I forgot his crew name. I know that's Zartan, and that's his crew. I forgot the name of his crew, but yeah. Let's see. We got Snake Eyes, Shipwreck, Gun-Ho, Lady J, and the Indian boy, I forgot his name too. Spirit, yes. Or the bird might be Spirit. I think his name is Spirit. Let's see here. Let's see here. Cobra Commander, Shadow, Storm Shadow, the Baroness, Destro. I forget who that guy is in the back. Let's see. Duke, Scarlet, Storm Shadow, Flint, and I forget his name. God damn, forget his name. Oh well, I can't remember them all. The Crimson Twins, Tomax and Zaymont, and this is their Crimson Guard. It's bringing back memories, guys. Let's see. We got Beachhead, and I forget the other two. I know he's the medic for Battle Force. He came later, like around the Battle Force 2000 era, and I forget who that guy is too. I remember Beachhead. Let's see here. Dr. Mindbender, and I don't know this guy's name. And then we got Bazooka, Quick Kick, Alpine, Dusty, and I forget this guy's name with the dog. G.I. Joe, guys. I'm telling you, I was a little kid when this came, and I still remember a lot of those characters without looking them up. I'm telling you, love G.I. Joe. Fantastic. The original G.I. Joe. There's a couple of different spin-off series. G.I. Joe Renegades wasn't that bad, but I still prefer this. And G.I. Joe, the movie, was incredible. The animated movie. Now, I didn't like the live-action ones, neither one of them. And here's one. This one right here is just one that's a true legend. Over 70 episodes plus the movie DuckTales. Now, they came out with a new version of DuckTales. I didn't like the animation, so I didn't watch it. But this right here, I love this. This is something that I used to haul ass home for because this came on during the week. This wasn't a weekend cartoon. This was a weekday cartoon. So this was part of that afternoon block. You guys know what I'm talking about. That came on from, like, a lot of those cartoons would start at 4 o'clock and they would wrap up around 6. And this was part of that afternoon block. DuckTales. And here's, this got the hub style packaging. You got all the episodes plus the original movie. Fantastic. I love DuckTales. I still know the theme song. I'm not going to sing it right now, but I still know the theme song, every freaking word. My wife do too. When we bought this, we put it on. Man, my kids are sitting there looking at us like we retarded. We both singing the theme song to this. I love DuckTales. It's one of the cartoons that this, Chippendales Rescue Rangers, Darkwing Duck, these are just the cartoons that was just cartoons that didn't have a lot of, like, G.I. Joe and Transformers. They were just different. These was like different. This was just a fun, great cartoon that everybody could sit around the TV and watch. G.I. Joe and Transformers, not to say girls didn't watch them, but they was more for boys. That's what they were. Back then, that's what it was. Boys had their things and girls had their things. That's what it was back in the day. Don't start that stuff with me. I didn't grow up in this era. I grew up in a different era. So that's how it was back then. This was a family cartoon. Everybody could sit around and watch this. Next up, we got Cops, the complete series. Now, there's a couple different sets out there for Cops. There's a set that's probably a little bit better than this one. This is a really cheap set. You can get this whole set at Walmart for like $5 brand new. It's a relatively cheap set, but it looks okay. It does. For it to be a very budget-friendly, cost-effective set, you got all the movies in there, all the discs stacked. It's not bad. Cops was a good show. I enjoyed it. It was something different. What I liked is one of the cops, Mace, He was a Philadelphia SWAT officer. So that was we all liked that. Everybody who used to watch this, we all liked it because one of the cops was from our city. You got what was his name? Shit, I forget his name. He was a New York cop, a New York beat cop. He was the leader, well, the field leader, but the real leader was Bulletproof, the FBI agent. So, what was his name? What did they call him? I think his name was Cuffs. I don't know. Oh, I put a movie in here. I'm not going to show that because we're not doing movies. But I just picked this one up. We just did this in the last pickup video. Centurions. Centurions, Power Extreme, Man and Machine. Fantastic cartoon. I'm not going to talk too much on that one. We just did that one. But Centurions is definitely a cartoon from my childhood. That came on with a specific block of cartoons that Hanna-Barbera had. Hanna-Barbera had a block of cartoons that came on. I live in the Philadelphia area. We had Channel 57 back then, and Hanna-Barbera had a specific block of cartoons. They had Centurions. Rambo had an animated cartoon. It was on that block. It was just a certain, like, it was weird the way cartoons worked back in the day. You would get certain blocks that would come on certain days, and a whole block would be like the Hanna-Barbera block or the whoever block. It was pretty decent. Next up is one that, again, very near and dear to my heart. Very. Thundercats. One of the greatest cartoons ever made. This is right up there with G.I. Joe and Transformers. Right up there with them. For me it is. Right up there with them. It was so unique, so ahead of its time. The animation was banging. The stories that they wrote for this show was banging. How long it ran. It's got a nice amount of episodes. I don't think it says how many episodes here, but it's a lot of episodes. You're getting a lot of bang for your buck with this set. Now this, I will admit, this is one of the cheaper sets you can get for Thundercats. Now, I got this when it first came out. I think I paid about $50 for it, which wasn't bad at the time, considering the officials. I don't know if it was Rhino or whoever put that official set out. That official set, it didn't come together. You had to buy it in volumes. And what I hate is when they do any show, whether it's animated or a TV show, where they do season 1, volume 2, they sell it not only in a season, but then they break the season up into volumes to rob you even more. That Thundercats set, I think if you wanted to get it all, you was looking at about $200 to $300 to get it all because of the way they broke it up. And it didn't come as a set. You had to buy it pieced out like that. So I just waited, and then when this set came out, it was a complete set, but no work went into this. You don't got no special features. I don't even think they cleaned up the audio. They didn't clean up the visuals. They just took it straight from the original recording, threw it on the DVD and said, here. And I said, here's my money. And you know what? It's fine. It's serviceable. You can put this on and you can watch it and you can enjoy it. But if there's a better set out there that you can get for a reasonable price, I would say don't get this set, get a better set. If they got a Blu-ray set, go for that. This is DVD. Again, like I said, when this set came out brand new, I think this set came out, well, I'm not going to say when it came out. I know when I got it. And I think I got this when it came out. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think I might have pre-ordered this. So this set is not, I don't think this set is even 5 years old. Or it might be just 5 years old. It was like $50, $60. So again, Thundercats, a fantastic show from my childhood. Just fantastic. And here we go. Now this here, I think it's 7 volumes in total if you want every episode of this next one. I got the first 5 volumes, and I'm good with that. A lot of these cartoons, for me, they better in the beginning. The writing changed, and it's evident with this. The Ghostbusters, the real Ghostbusters animated. This is 5 volumes. I think the completed, I think it's 7 volumes for it if you want everything. But again, this is perfect for me. This got all the best episodes that I remember as a kid. This got it all. For me, this is everything I wanted in a Ghostbusters set. This got, long as there's 3 episodes that I really remember from this show when I was a kid. The Sandman episode, the Halloween episode, and the Christmas episode. That the Christmas Carol version, fantastic. The Sandman one. Oh, and one more, the Boogeyman. Remember that one with the Boogeyman? I'm telling you. So all of those are here. So I'm very happy with the Real Ghostbusters. This is a fantastic cartoon. I enjoyed it. Again, I do believe if you want to complete, I think it's 7 volumes. This particular set has 5, and I'm fine with that. To me, this is complete. The Real Ghostbusters. Well, guys, those are the cartoons, some of the cartoons that I enjoyed coming up, and some into my adult years, in my early adult years. Again, we'll probably come back and do this next year because I'm hoping to add a few more. I'm hoping to add Turtles. By that point, I'm hoping to add Turtles in. I'm hoping to add in Turtles, Mask. You guys remember Mask? Mask Crusaders, working overtime. SWAT Cats, Silverhawks. I'm looking to add in maybe 5 more to the collection. So we'll come back next year and see how we progress. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys walking down memory lane with me. These are some of the cartoons that really defined my childhood. And I really look back at some of these cartoons with fond memories. Thanks for watching.